All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the last reaction of the day. It's time for more Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's get started, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reaction and review. Last we left out on, Gojo was pretty much going up against not only Sukuna, but Maharaga and a brand new type of Shikigami called Merge Beast Agito. And seeing as how this is still a tense situation, Gojo pretty much says, well, I gotta get rid of Maharaga in one shot. So it seems that I'm gonna need to use Unlimited Hollow. And it's got me thinking, first of all, what is Unlimited Hollow? So hopefully we get to find out in Chapter 234, Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown Part 12. And Kusakabe, well, Yuta is ready to get into the fight because the thoughts on everyone's mind was pretty much Gojo could possibly lose. So Yuta gets up with sword in hand going, I'm going to join the fight. No, come back, goes the lightning guy. I forget his name. I'll look it up once I'm done. Don't interfere. If anyone's next, it isn't you. As they both course with cursed energy, because they're both getting riled up a little bit. Then we get Kinji. Chill, Okotsu. Kashimo is right. Kashimo! All this time, I have yet to look up Kashimo's name, and I just kept calling him the lightning guy, who I incorrectly thought was a girl the first time I was reading through the volume, so I gave him like a girly voice, because I did not know. But Kinji goes, Chill, Okotsu. Kashimo's right. Gojo said he only wants help if he gets weaker than you or me. That depends on the circumstances. Sukuna's domain just got wrecked. That depends on the circumstances. Sukuna's domain just got wrecked. Rika and I would be effective against two Shikigami. And then it goes to Maki, who goes, No, I'm the obvious choice. Come on, goes Kashimo. Don't forget your role. If you die, we lose all our insurance. If we beat Sukuna now, that insurance won't be necessary. So we should take a chance. Oh wait, this Yuta going, if we beat Sukuna now, that insurance won't be necessary. So we should take a chance. Okotsu-senpai, goes Yuji. Do it. You have to. And then Kusakabe goes, Wait, you don't understand anything. Give me a break, guys. As everyone gets quiet. Well, Okotsu as Yuta and Yuji get quiet, and then Mei speaks up. Listen, they each need something different for victory. Gojo just needs to beat Sukuna, because the rest of us can probably handle Kenjaku. But even if Sukuna beats Gojo, he still has to immediately fight us. He must be holding back a killer move, and if we go out, he might unleash it. And then cuts to Yuta. So, we shouldn't ask for more trouble? That's right. That monster Uraume is on standby too. Sukuna can't afford to unload everything he has, but Gojo can fight unhindered. This carries the best chance of success. I know he doesn't have a Spanish accent in the dub, but I just wanted to give it to him. Sukuna can afford to unload everything he says. Everything he has. But Gojo can fight unhindered. This carries the best chance of success. Unhindered? Are all this era sorcerers this clueless? Ha! You're missing the point, goes Kashimo. This fight is for Satoru Gojo's sake. Whatever happens, it would be wrong to intervene. And then it comes to Gojo, who's dealing with Agito and Maharaga. And it looks like Agito is getting close to grabbing Gojo, but he ducks and proceeds to punch Agito toward away from him. But something happens to the torso of Agito where it kind of shifts its form. And Gojo grabs Agito by the tail and rips it off, because the tail of Agito is basically like this extra long snake. It's like a bipedal chimera, if you will. He rips the tail off and tosses it away, but it regrows back, because it looks like Agito has high-speed regeneration. That blow that Gojo hit on Agito the first time immediately starts reforming and piecing itself back together immediately. Then he thinks, That's Nue with some great serpent. Tiger funeral. Wait. That's Nue with some of great serpent, tiger funeral, and round deer mixed into it. The key is round deer's regeneration. It hasn't adapted to limitless curse technique, but the condition for me to win is to destroy them with one punch, just like Maharaga. And then Maharaga slices into the ground and sends some shards straight towards Gojo, which immediately stop right in front of him because, he's capable of stopping slowing things down to almost a permanent crawl when it's thrown at him, and it doesn't work. Then he dodges out of the way as Maharaga tries to stab into him. And whose face is that? That looks like Maharaga's face, and then it looks like, it is Agito's face, and then Maharaga's face, as Gojo proceeds to kick away Maharaga, and then he's directly in front of Agito, and then punches away Agito. You're repeating yourself. I can't let Sukuna heal. I need to prioritize destroying Agito. This is fine for now, as long as I don't let him use purple. When purple really cuts loose, its output is over 120% with some kind of binding vow. However, I got away with just losing 2 reinforced hands when taking a direct hit at just under 4 kilometers. Neither of us is at full strength. If he lands a hit with purple at this distance, at even just 100%, it'd be fatal. Maharaga, how long are you gonna make me wait? That's not what I want to see. Forget Megumi Fushiguro. You are my shadow now. Show me what you've got. And then we see the wheel of Maharaga. And in an instant, Gojo's arm gets sliced off completely. And there's this smoldering cut on the building far behind Gojo. Gojo's arm is gone. His arm is gone. And then Sukuna just goes, very good. Maharaga with the slashing attack? He threw the slash, just like Sukuna. Uh-oh, Gojo's healing power is low, goes Shoko as she drops the cigarette that was in her mouth. And then Agito and Maharaga rush Gojo. And then Sukuna appears because he's joining in the fight now that he's in. Ain't it cheap? He's so cheap. Just jumping in after seeing that Gojo's been incapacitated by losing an arm. Sukuna immediately jumps out and he starts fighting Gojo and then he kicks Gojo, who goes towards Agito, and then Agito hits Gojo with like a full cursed energy enhanced punch. But Agito hits Gojo and is kind of surprised to see that Gojo's not only fine, but he's gathering power up in his remaining arm. This whole time, you haven't been able to keep up like the others. And proceeds to body Agito in an instant. And as Agito is recoiling, Sukuna and Maharaga notice something's about to happen as Gojo uses maximum output. Blue. And then using the attractive power of blue starts ripping up the building that they're fighting on, with Maharaga moving to cover Sukuna. 41 seconds from now, for the second time. As it shows that Agito has been caught in maximum output blue and has been forcibly pulled into the spot where it implodes on itself. So he's taken out Agito with maximum output blue. He's taken out Agito with maximum output blue just squished Agito in on itself, just crushed it, as it shows it ripping through shows the attraction ripping through a building, and then just an explosion of blood from the point of attraction. 41 seconds from now, for the second time, Satoru Gojo's hollow purple will cut through Shinjuku. The fact that they're announcing that a couple of seconds from now, Gojo is going to use hollow purple. And we've already seen that Sukuna is very wary. Sukuna is very wary of Gojo using purple. Because he says, like, even if it's at 100% power, never mind 120%, even if it's at 100% power, it's enough for it to be fatal. And now, Gojo has gotten rid of one of the Shikigamis that was causing him problems. Namely, can we just talk about how he took out the one that can regenerate fast? He took out the fast regenerating Shikigami first, so all he has to worry about is Maharaga and Sukuna. Kashimo is the one who's been wanting to fight Sukuna for 400 years, and his curse technique apparently is only a one-time use. I think it's been said, but don't trust me on that last part. This and Rith, good to see you. This chapter was really good. I'm pretty sure the fight's going to be over very soon. I think so as well. We're not going on break. Unlike One Piece and My Hero, we're not going on break from this chapter. He wants to fight Sukuna since it was a promise from Kenjaku. The curse technique part, I'm not sure. Pay attention to Gojo's. Yeah, I was about to mention that. It looks like his arm is regrowing. It looks like, because his arm it no longer looks like it's just like this cut stump. It no longer looks like it's just this cut stump. It looks like his arm is regrowing, because there's like this formation that's happening at his arm as if it's about to regrow. So does this mean that Gojo is capable of regrowing limbs with reverse curse technique if he wanted to? I'm looking at his arm and I was thinking, ain't no way that this man has got regeneration to that degree for his arm to come back. That's what I was thinking. The curse technique part, I'm not sure of if it's true or not, but I definitely know about the 400-year and promise from Kenjaku thing. You think losing an arm is going to stop Gojo? Of course not. He lost an arm, but that doesn't mean he stopped, because this man uses his other remaining arm to not only body Agito, but uses his currently remaining arm to use maximum output blue to completely crush and kill Agito. His healing capability may be slower, but it's not gone. If you look, you can see Gojo's arm slowly regenerating. Yeah. Well, you mean Toji severed chunks of meat from his chest, didn't he? And his neck and his leg. Yeah, he did. And Gojo was able to heal from it all. On the brink of death, he was able to heal from all of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's capable of regenerating his entire arm. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But the fact that Sukuna is here's the thing. Just to show you how much of a punk Sukuna is, he waited until Gojo's arm was cut off by Maharaga, because Maharaga said, because Sukuna was all like, Maharaga, how long are you going to make me wait? That's not what I want to see. Forget Megumi Fushiguro, you are my shadow now. Show me what you got. And having this order from Sukuna pretty much made it so that Maharaga uses, because remember, Maharaga remembers the slash attacks from Sukuna that was used against him during the Shibuya incident. So now he's capable of using that attack whenever he wants. He just hasn't used it at all during this entire fight. And one thing I find funny about the fact that, and I kind of find it funny how Gojo's right arm got cut off, but it didn't immediately, and a little blood shot out, but it stopped as soon as he started clashing with both Agito and Maharaga in this instance. You don't see his arm bleeding anymore. It's just stopped. Like he just sealed the wound with cursed energy, I guess. But it looks like in the last one, his arm is starting to regenerate because of the formation that's, happening at the end. And then we get that notice of like a couple of seconds from now, almost a minute from now, Gojo Gojo will use Hollow Purple. You feel like the author is calling Gojo's purple in the future, is calling Gojo's purple in the future to make us to be hopeful or whatever, and it'll miss or something. You want Gojo to win, but you feel like Sukuna's gonna win. This chapter, someone mentioned Sukuna having another ability that could beat Gojo. That plus the author saying Gojo's gonna use purple, I feel like that's just bait. We just gotta see. This isn't. See, this could be like some very massive bait if this chapter also was going on break. But it's not. And we're getting a chapter next week. We have to see if this was like a bait, because it could work either way. It could be a bait and we think it's not going to hit, and then it hits, or it could be a bait and we are hopeful that it hits and it misses. It's either one of those two. But the thing is, Gojo has to survive those 42 seconds. 41 seconds. Those 41 seconds going up against Maharaga and Sukuna at the same time. Mind you, Gojo's arm hasn't fully reformed yet, so that's going to be one less arm to defend himself. But depending on who wins this fight, I have to agree with Rith here. We could be going on break depending on what happens in the next chapter. That's how I feel about it. I'm enjoying this fight. Everyone is kind of, well, the more younger members of Jujutsu are really concerned that something could happen to Gojo, and they want to join in. But all the more seasoned curse users and the seasoned veterans are all like, yeah, this is Gojo's fight. Let him have it. Even though Yuta's all like, well, I gotta intervene, but everyone else is all like, cool your jets. Let's let Satoru Gojo handle this. Because how would you feel if you aided in Gojo's fight and it still doesn't turn out well? You could be caught up in an attack. It would just invite more problems for Gojo to deal with, because then he wouldn't be able to fight Sukuna and the Shikigamis the way that he has if an additional person jumps in there. Not everyone has the same amount of syncopation that Yuji had with Aoi Todo. That same level of cooperation where they mesh well together and they immediately are able to cooperate. Not everyone has that immediately. That coordination, that syncopation. They don't have that to that degree. So it would possibly cause even more damage and possibly cause more people to die if more joined in. I think because Sukuna said if Gojo opens his domain, he's going to die, so that makes me think Gojo is going to open it again, but it'll be barrierless. We still don't know what Unlimited Hollow is. We know what Unlimited Void is, which Gojo can't use because Maharaga has already pretty much made it so that that barrier won't stay up very long. And then we already know what Hollow Purple is, and we've seen it be used against Sukuna, and Sukuna just managed to survive thanks to reinforced hands, but that was it. But both Gojo and Sukuna are at a level where Sukuna can't use Malevolent Shrine because he suffered brain damage, and then Gojo can't use Unlimited Void because of Maharaga. So all they have left is their innate techniques and such. Just looked at the chapter. It was Hikari who mentioned Sukuna might have a killer move, and if they go in, he might use it. See, more people joining in the fight with Sukuna and Gojo would just invite more trouble and more casualties, because then Sukuna would possibly use the additional people as a deterrent against Gojo. Because if Sukuna was to get hands of Yuji or Yuta, and they're not able to use their curse techniques, and they start getting cut apart, that could serve as a distraction for Gojo. And the last time Gojo got distracted, he was in the prison realm for several months. So, I'm pretty sure anyone else joining in on this fight would just make things harder. So it's best for Gojo to just be doing this alone. And not only that, but they also brought up that Uraume is out there as well, on standby. Even if they were to go out there, they would have Uraume standing in their way because she doesn't want anyone to interfere with her master. So that's something that Uraume would do. Even if they did get out there, there's no guarantee that Uraume wouldn't interfere to make sure that they don't interfere. Like Kisame Hoshigaki keeping back the rest of the squad members of Sasuke so that Sasuke could face off against Itachi. Only Sasuke is allowed beyond this point. Only Sukuna is allowed beyond this point. You contend with me. The thing is, even if they don't go in and Gojo almost kills Sukuna, don't think Sukuna won't use everything to not die. He'll still use it. True, because Sukuna has already shown that he's, he's cheap and he seizes the opportunity. He was waiting in the shadows, waiting for something to happen to Gojo before he popped out and is all like, all right, it's time to fight again. But, waiting until Gojo lost his arm in order to go fighting. But, Gojo, even with one arm, is still able to go up against Sukuna and Mahoraga at the same time. And he took out basically a Chimera Shikigami with just blue alone. So that's one Shikigami that won't be aiding Sukuna anymore. Not only, because here's the thing. With the combination of Round Deer, Great Serpent, and Nue, all these combinations combined together, that's just shattered and gone. Now it's just Mahoraga and Sukuna. Then if Gojo almost loses and getting weaker, then Sukuna and everyone will join in, and Sukuna will still use the technique. Gojo has proven that he is the strongest sorcerer to ever live, so if he dies and saves Megumi, that's a win. It is. It is. If Gojo were to die in this series, he would go out still being the strongest sorcerer to ever live. Because he's the only one thus far who has been able to keep up with Sukuna versus everything Sukuna has been trying to use against Gojo to kill him. The man just won't die. And also, is that Tiger one a new shadow? Hold on. Let's see. Great Serpent, Tiger Funeral. I've never seen Tiger Funeral before. I've never heard of Tiger Funeral before. Hold on. Let me bring up the 10 Shadows technique. We know... Okay, and then we'll just go through the list of what the Shikigamis are. So we have Divine Dogs, we have Nue, we have Toad, Great Serpent, Max Elephant, Rabbit Escape, Round Deer, Piercing Ox, and then, of course, 8-handled Sword Divergencia, Divine General Mahoraga. Then we have Shikigami combinations, the Wells Unknown Abyss, which is basically a combination of Nue and Toad in one Shikigami summon. So, it's just like the Wells Unknown Abyss, Merge Beast Agito, is essentially like a Shikigami combination. But individually, on its own, we have never seen Tiger Funeral before. Though Gojo knows of Tiger Funeral, which makes me wonder what type of Shikigami is it? Because this is the first time we're ever seeing Tiger Funeral before. How many shadows do we know now, then? Okay, Divine Dogs, Nue, Toad, Great Serpent, Max Elephant, Rabbit Escape, Round Deer, Piercing Ox, 8-handled Sword Divergence, and then Mahoraga. So that is about 9 in total. That's 9 that we know of. But combine that with Tiger Funeral, that's 10 solitary shadows. But Tiger Funeral is the only one we've never seen on its own yet. Those are the ones that we know. Yeah. We just got, 10 shadows. That's all 10. Actually, we found out all 10. We just haven't seen Tiger Funeral. That's the only one. Interesting. I wonder why they haven't added it here yet, even though we don't have an image of... of Beast Agito yet. Like, I'm looking at the techniques for... And you know what's funny? What I find funny is how, even though Sukuna is able to use his own domain expansion, shouldn't he be able to use Megumi's domain expansion as well, since he's in his body? Or is it just specific to Megumi on its own? Because we have yet to see Sukuna try and use Chimera Shadow Garden. Like, I'm trying to look up Merged Beast Agito. But it doesn't show up. It doesn't show anything. Now you see how the previous Limitless and Six Eyes user died while fighting the previous 10 Shadows users. Wait, didn't both die? Didn't they kill each other? There was a fight, but we don't know the end result. there was a fight, but we don't know the end result. And I'm actually looking into it as well. I'm looking into it real quick here because it said something about the 10 Shadows technique being, able to go toe-to-toe with a user of the Limitless. So hold on. Let's see. There it is. Satoru Gojo revealed to Megumi that a Limitless user like himself and 10 Shadows technique user like the latter once clashed as heads of their respective families. He used this to suggest that Megumi can become as powerful as him, the strongest current sorcerer. That's all the information that we get, though. And that is from chapter 117. I think Maharaga killed both the 6-Eye user and the 10 Shadows user because he wasn't tamed yet. Sukuna is the first to tame it. Also, by the way, had Sukuna not possessed Megumi's body, would he have had any way of going through Gojo's infinity? No. Because the reason why he gained control of Megumi's body is not because of the vast power that Megumi has, but also the ability of Maharaga itself. Sukuna is well aware of Maharaga, which I believe comes from the 1,000 years that he's been alive, or the 1,000 years from 1,000 years ago. So I want to believe that same 10 Shadows technique user that lost control and everyone found out that you cannot control Maharaga was when Sukuna maybe plotted to get control of a 10 Shadows user who could then summon Maharaga, because Maharaga has the ability to adapt to any curse technique used against it. And what could be a better way to fight a user of the Limitless than to use a powerful Shikigami or curse technique that allows them to basically nullify the powers of the Limitless if it's used against them multiple times. So, well, yeah, but he couldn't have summoned Maharaga without having the 10 Shadows technique. Exactly, which is why he waited. Because I feel like Sukuna saw the opportunity during his first interaction with Megumi, which is why he spared him, specifically for this moment. He knows of the 10 Shadows technique. He knows of Maharaga. So he waited. Really, it really became very apparent that this has always been Sukuna's plan ever since he met Megumi and found out that he was a 10 Shadows user, right when he made that binding vow with Yuji, which allows him to take control of his body for 1 minute. And in that 1 minute, he gambled on storing all of his power inside of a pinky, ripping it off, and then force-feeding it to Megumi on the chance of being able to possess Megumi's body and thus gain access to the 10 Shadows technique, which would be perfect for fighting Gojo, especially if he got control of Maharaga. So that was the plan. Ever since Sukuna met Megumi the first time and found out he was a 10 Shadows technique user, that's when he put his plan into motion to eventually make Megumi his new vessel, because that would mean more power and ability to fight the user of the Limitless. Because Sukuna probably got into his mind that Gojo was annoying when he faced off against Gojo in the very first chapter. When he saw Gojo and how powerful he was, he's all like, I gotta figure out how to make it so that this guy doesn't become a problem. And then when he found out about Megumi, he was all like, there it is. And so he's been scheming this whole time until it got to this point where he's now in control of Megumi's body, and he's now figured out a way to combat the most powerful Jujutsu sorcerer of our time. Because of that. That took a lot of planning. He waited, and taking advantage of Yuji, he just used that opportunity to, make sure that plan would go along flawlessly. And it kind of did. So yeah, this has been a plan long in the making. So when you think about it, Sukuna has been playing the long con this whole time. Gojo knows Sukuna by the books. He has read about him, so he definitely doesn't know everything Sukuna has in his arsenal. Exactly. We haven't seen everything that Sukuna can do. Let's not forget that when he was facing off against Jogo, he copied this curse technique that Jogo was using, and then proceeded to kill him with it. He killed pretty much one of the most powerful, because Jogo, let's not scoff at the power of Jogo. It doesn't mean much to Gojo, but Jogo is by far one of the strongest cursed spirits we've seen in this entire series. And Sukuna killed him by just copying what he did, and then killing him with an even greater technique copied from him. So Sukuna is capable of, and he said this by uttering words that are unintelligible to human speech. We don't know what that is. To this day, we still don't know what that is. I thought we were going to find out after Sukuna did that, but we never did. So that's another aspect of Sukuna that we don't know the depths of Sukuna's ability. We really never seen Sukuna at the height of his power. You know, back before all of his fingers were, separated and put in the opposite directions of the world. We still don't know what Sukuna was like at the absolute height of his strength. Are we good? What happened there? Screen froze up. Are we good? I had like the loading wheel. That was going on. So yeah, sorry. I know I'm droning on, but we're not going on break. We just need to see how things. So if Gojo fought Itadori Sukuna, it would have been so much easier. Yeah, it's fine on your end. What's up, Q? Yeah, I just had like this lag loading wheel on my feed, even though my internet was fine and it didn't say anything was happening. It didn't say anything was happening on no drop frames or anything, so it was kind of weird. It had my page had my live studio page had like a little bit of a mishap there, so it didn't really fully catch up. Gege planned it all along. Yeah, they did. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter. Even though Gojo lost an arm, the dude is still fine because you don't see him getting all bent out of shape over having his arm sliced off. He's all like surprised, all like, arm's gone. But he's still fighting. He's still fighting. And the fact that we're not going on break means that we can look forward to seeing what happens next. Will we see what this unlimited hollow is? Is this a new form of hollow purple? Or will he just use hollow purple again, but at a much bigger output, even though Sukuna said that both of them are not at their full strength. So it's anyone's guess how this fight could turn out. It could turn out that Gojo prevails and he takes out Sukuna, or incapacitates Sukuna and gets Megumi his body back, or Sukuna ends up killing Gojo and it's pretty much up to everyone else to fight him. Even though that could be incredibly difficult given just how strong Sukuna has proven to be. So it's anyone's guess how this fight is going to go. But I'm looking forward to the next chapter next week. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry if I ate up too much of your time more than I was intending. I just get into talking about these chapters. I love it, which is why I'm going to be doing some more videos and more streams where we're just talking about this series, these types of series as a whole. Not just One Piece reflections, but My Hero, Jujutsu, Dragon Ball, and possibly any other series that I do here as well, because I feel like that should, vary things up that I do a lot of the times, and it should make things a lot more fun and more content for a lot more people who swing by the channel and experience what I do here for the very first time. So it should be fun. But I'm done. Gonna go ahead and chill for a little bit, relax, eat my other 2 hot dogs and other fries. But all I can say at the end of the day is, all right, it's your birthday. It's your birthday today, Holster. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, these are some good chapters for your birthday, man. These were some really good chapters for your birthday. My Hero, One Piece, and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a wonderful day. Once again, Holster, happy birthday. Hope everything goes right for you today. Hope you get all the gifts that you're intending. Hope you eat some good food. Spend time with family if you're around them, or friends if you're around them. Happy birthday to you. To everyone else, Hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, if you haven't already, because not only does this help the channel, but it also is completely free, like, subscribe, and share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.